We removed Ali Ndume as Senate whip because he's a mole in our party, says APC. The leadership of the All Progressive Congress, APC, yesterday announced the removal of Senator Ali Ndume as chief whip of a 10th Senate, saying it is convinced that Ndume is a mole in the party. Ndume was instantly replaced by Chairman, Senate Committee on Judiciary, Human Rights and Legal Matters, Senator Teha Mongono. Ndume is Senator for Borno South Senatorial District, while Mongono is from Borno North in the Northeast Geopolitical Zone. The change followed the directive in a letter signed by National Chairman of APC, Alhaji Omar Ganduje, and National Secretary, Senator Bashir Ajibola. The request for removal of Ndume as chief whip was put to voice vote by Senate President Godswill Akpabio at plenary on Wednesday and was affirmed by a majority of the APC senators. Ndume's removal was not unconnected with his comment last week during the interview with journalists, which many in the governing APC considered an anti-President Bola Tinubu stand. He alleged in the interview that the president had been caged at the villa and was not aware of the acute hunger being experienced by Nigerians. Ndume has suffered a similar fate in January 2017 when he was removed as leader of the 8th Senate. But the leadership of Labour Party condemned Ndume's removal as chief whip because he stood with the suffering masses. Labour Party said the action signified that in the current dispensation, speaking truth to power had become a crime in Nigeria. Labour Party in a separate reaction condemned the letter and statement by foremost lawyer Mr. Femi Falana San and his law firm, which it said were meant to disparage the party and damage its hard-earned image and character. The All Progressive Congress National Working Committee, NWC, had in a letter to the Senate President alleged that Ndume seriously abused his office through unguided utterances and outbursts against the federal government and Tinubu in particular. The NWC further alleged that Ndume was more of a mole in the party and advised him to honorably resign his membership. The letter read, and I quote, "We write on behalf of the National Working Committee of our great party to express our displeasure, our outrage, and our deep disappointment as the unbecoming, unfounded, and baseless criticism of the government and the party. The All Progressive Congress, by your majority whip of the Senate, Senator Ali Ndume, as a member of the ruling party, we expected a much more responsible and decorous behavior from him, but this has not been the case. His uncouth and rapid outburst against the government before the global community is not only harmful to the government image alone, but also undermines the party's unity and cohesion, and in addition undermines the government's efforts to bring in foreign direct investment to Nigeria. As he is a ranking member of our party, his actions are unbecoming of a senior member of the Senate and set a very poor example for others in the future to follow." His latest tirade on air during a program on Arise Television, where he referred to the government of Bola Ahmed Tinubu, Commander-in-Chief, as being run by thieves, portrays Ali Ndume as a person who is bent on running the economy down and running the party aground through incitement. We have reviewed that Senator Ali Ndume should honorably resign the membership of the All Progressive Congress and join any opposition party of his choice formally instead of hiding behind the veil of crass activism to decimate the hard-earned cohesion goodwill. Activism to decimate the hard-earned cohesion and goodwill that our party, the All Progressive Congress, is enjoying within and outside the country. The letter added regarding Ndume, his utterances, which are sheer propaganda, are not based on verifiable facts, are unbecoming of member of the APC caucus of the Senate of the National Assembly. It therefore behoves the APC caucus to bring this to the attention of its members for necessary action to curtail its deliberate mission to undermine the government and the party and the progress of Nigerians, particularly those appointed by the President to work against his administration. We therefore urge the Senate caucus to take appropriate steps to address this issue and ensure that members of the Senate, particularly those within the All Progressive Congress, hold and maintain decorum in their public utterances. Accordingly, we realize that the position of the whip of the Senate belongs to a party, and we are not opposed to whatever position the members of the APC caucus and the Senate may have. But we are of the opinion that distinguished Senator Mohammed Teha Mongono should immediately replace distinguished Senator Ali Ndume, who is bent on bringing down the country as the majority whip of the Senate. Akpabio, after reading the letter, put the NWC request to voice vote among the APC senators, and majority of the senators supported Ndume's removal. Apart from removing Ndume as Chief Whip of the Senate, he was also removed from his deputy chairmanship position of Senate Committee on Appropriation and made chairman of a committee on tourism. Mongono, who replaced Ndume as Chief Whip, also replaced him as deputy chairman of the Appropriation Committee. The Senate, however, gave Ndume a soft landing when Senator Cyril Fasui, APC Ekiti North, moved a motion for him to face the Senate Committee on Code of Conduct, Ethics and Privileges on allegation bordering on alleged kleptomania. In an apparent move to save Ndume from suspension, Akpabio in his remarks on Fasui's motion said, since the APC National Working Committee had requested for its removal as Chief Whip and it is now approved, he should be forgiven for now. Labour Party, speaking truth to power is now a crime. Labour Party, LP, in a statement by its National Publicity Secretary, Obiora Ifo, said the humiliation of Ndume by the Akpabio-led Senate portrayed the dictatorial inclination of the ruling All Progressive Congress. Labour Party said Ndume's crime was the bold expression of his concerns regarding the escalating cost of living and food scarcity in Nigeria, and its revelation that Tinubu had chosen to play the ostrich even in the face of acute starvation in Nigeria. Labour Party stated, the dimension this administration is taking is grave. A few months ago, Senator Abdul Ningi exposed the rot in the government, where the Senate leadership and the executive collaborators allegedly padded the budget. That got him suspected and intimidated out of his lawful representative role as a senator. It is needless talking about the economic crisis ongoing in Nigeria, where food cabal are massively enriching themselves. The National Bureau of Statistics (NBS) recently said that food inflation has risen to 40.66%. Similarly, the 2023 State of Food Security and Nutrition report has it that the number of food insecure Nigerians has also increased by 133% in 3 years. It jumped from 63.8 million between 2014 and 2016 to 148.7 million between 2020 and 2022. It is even worse at the moment. Even with all these glaring and scaring challenges, the government is said to have paid about 150 billion for a presidential jet, building roads that have no direct bearing with the economic crisis in Nigeria. The media practitioners are recoiling into their shells for the fear of reporting the facts about this government, for the fear of escalation and incarceration. What is so democratic about the party in government making decisions for an independent legislative arm on who takes up the leadership role in our legislature? This is clearly the tyranny of a cabal against legislative autonomy. Labour Party also said, and I quote, Nigeria is gradually descending into dictatorship, and we are calling on the citizens to be on the alert and put up a defense against the starvation weapon being deployed by this administration. Can you imagine what is going on? It's like I misjudged Ali Ndume, sincerely. Going to read about what he says, how he's always speaking up and fighting, the government whenever they're doing things that are wrong. Bless, I don't misjudge this man. Nigerians, you're making us stay alert. A dictatorship, I smell. Or they say they smell dictatorship. We're going to put up a strong defense so that it will not happen. Alright, on this note, we have come to the end of the news. So thank you for tuning in to listen until I come your way next time. Enjoy the rest of your day.